Good luck on your double date, Yulin. And of course, eat my kitty. Happy birthday. How's everyone doing today? Mustang. Hello, Charlie. You're supposed to be stressed about midterms, Cookieville. I think you forgot that the entire point of school is to see how you perform under pressure. Being stressed is a part of what they're teaching you. How to recall important information when it matters. Hey, Bandy. Are you in a stressful situation? We act like we're never supposed to feel stress, and we're supposed to feel it. There's nothing wrong with it. You don't need to shame yourself because you're stressed out when things are hard. Give yourself a break. You're gonna be all right. Hello, Alexander. I understand, and I'm not saying that it's fair, right, or that it's moral, but that's what school is. School is there to teach you to perform under pressure. I'm not saying it's fun. I'm not saying you don't have the right to be upset. Hey, I'm very sorry to hear about your little brother. You don't have to let it go. Take your time. Mourn. I do know that the best piece of advice I have given to the people who are grieving is to go out there and live one more day for the life that was lost. Go do that person's favorite things. Eat their favorite foods. Tell their favorite jokes and stories. Watch their favorite movies. Give them one more day. And at the end of that day, say everything that you want and you need to them. You've spent the day with them after all, haven't you? And it's called a bubble timer. You can get them on Amazon. And that's what we do, Clifford. Hey, purple puppy. Just bubbles and chill. A little bit of advice. Maybe a spark of hope. Hey there, Washota. That's how a lot of people end up on this live stream, Chubba Lubba. It's good to see you again, too. Hey, Angel Paint. Are you asking for advice or permission? Do you just need someone to finally tell you that it's okay to go? Hello, child figure. Okay. You've been together for 4 years. Good or bad, those were the years. Time is not promised forever, and you don't owe the rest of your life to someone just because you gave them a part of it. Hello, Miss Putty. I'm very sorry to hear about your father. You're a guardian of everything they ever wanted in the world. Share it. And how could I make your day? Take your time. You've always been worth it. And hello to New Zealand. I'm glad that this can help you get to regain and catch your breath. I know tests are exhausting. Hey there, Z. I couldn't pronounce the rest of your username, sorry. Okay. Then work on becoming the man you want to be going forward. We can't change what we did. And saying I'm sorry or apologizing for the things that we've done wrong in the past is a privilege. It's not a right. Sometimes the best you can do is accept that you did the wrong thing for the wrong reasons and promise to do better. You move forward with it. I have had a very busy day. I finished the first draft of my second book. I'm pretty happy about that, actually. And hello to New Orleans. I do remember that gone. Remember that it's not your fault. And thank you, Steve. Here's a flip just for you. And thank you as well, Jader. Here's a flip for you. It's not your fault. Alright, gone. It is not your responsibility in this life to fix every person you come across. We're not made to do that. Sometimes we help a few people along the way. And thanks again, Steve. And that's okay. You help who you can, even if it's only yourself. So just breathe. Just as some people are stonemasons and others are artists. Some people run the wires that power our life, and some people grow the food that helps us and our children grow. You too can only help a certain type of person, not all of them. Your responsibility is to do the best you can with what you have. Nothing more, and I hope nothing less. And I am very proud of you. I am proud that you get up every day, even when you don't want to. And you show the world what kind of fight that you have. You have always been worth the effort. No, Michael, I don't hate you. Even if you're just trying to get a rise out of me, I don't hate you. I get trolls all the time. They don't bother me. Because I didn't give some other person permission to mess around with my self-worth. And I certainly don't take the opinion of somebody who hasn't earned any of my proper respect. Just breathe. There's lots of other places to go troll or to be awful, to spam hateful things. Tons of other people on live who would love to have that kind of interaction in their chats. Go hang out there. I'm not saying you can't have fun. I'm not even saying that what you're doing is wrong. It just doesn't have to be here. Just breathe. Dollar Store Bob Ross, TikTok Ed Sheeran, Mr. Rogers from a questionable neighborhood. I've heard them all. Bonus points if you do come up with a creative name for me. So if you're feeling broken, let me remind you of something. There is a type of art called a mosaic, and it is made from broken bits and pieces of glass and of clay, and it is painted and it is held together with iron will. And humanity finds this artwork to be so beautiful and so inspiring that it is one of the few forms of art that we feel belongs up in the house that we call God. And do you know why that is? It is because we all have been broken at some point to some extent. And every last one of us enjoys getting to see the light pour through something that was once considered broken and garbage, but through care and patience and practice has been rebuilt into something beautiful and new. And yes, that includes you. You are more than what was done to you. I go with he or him for my pronouns. Okay, Thug Solar. Take a breath. My skin's thicker than your hatred. Everyone accuses gingers of taking a soul, but you never ask what we do with them. We don't eat them. We care for them. We nurture them. We let you know that you were good enough. And then we give them back. We give you a chance to rest so that you can perform at your best. And sure, here's a shake. And thanks, Jason. I've got a flip coming up just for you in a minute. I have found that a lot of people need this kind of place. The first time I went live, I had so many people telling me how they just needed 1 minute, just 1 minute out of their day to breathe. 1 minute someplace where somebody wasn't demanding anything of them, where they didn't have to pretend to be somebody else. So I kept doing it. And this channel and this stream has grown. It's grown more than I would have ever imagined. I've been able to share advice. I have felt both hopeful and heartbroken as people come back time and again. And I have felt proud for these people. People who finally just heard the few words that they couldn't articulate on their own. And yes, I know you. And thanks again, Jason. I've got another flip coming up for you soon. Yes, Sarah Weasley. And I can be your friend or your father figure. I can give you advice. I can let you know that you can, in fact, keep your chin up, your nose down, and your eyes on the horizon. You can move forward, and you can also lay down. You can rest. Even the greatest athletes in the world have to rest between performances. And for you overachievers, I can remind you this as well. You are not supposed to perform at your best all the time. Otherwise it wouldn't be your best, would it? It would be your regular. It would be your expected norm. Don't wait till you feel at your best or the lightning strike of motivation to chase after your dreams. You don't need to have a relationship. It's a weird thing that we define ourselves by who we manage to talk into the rest of our lives. But there's no reason for it. And what is it you feel like I'm reading, Power 143? And thanks, Jason. Here's a flip for you. No Hick 6, I don't know what it stands for. They're called bubble timers. And thanks, Juanita Jack. Here's a flip for you. When's the last time that you sat down and rested? And yes, this is a form of ASMR. I get panic attacks sometimes too. Not as often as I used to. I learned to read my weather. It has patterns. There were signs that would make it happen, and there were signs that would make it stop. I found ways to give myself control. I made peace with the fact that I was going to sometimes have whole hurricanes of emotions rip through me and leave me shaken and battered in a corner. It wasn't fun or easy, but I learned. If you want to control your panic attacks, you first need to let go. You need to accept that they're part of you. Not every part of us is pretty. Not every aspect of ourselves needs to be beautiful. We have flaws. That doesn't mean that you're broken or that you're worthless or useless. Those are somebody else's words. A ghost of hatred that's echoing through your mind. And as for guilt and remorse about the mistakes of yesteryear, you have to accept them, just like anything else. I've done things that I don't forgive myself for. I don't make excuses for them. I did something wrong. I acted in a way that is not who I want to be or how I wanted it to be defined. And the fact that there's a line there means that you're not as awful of a person as you think you are. Hello, Mad Hatter. I have something for you. Oh, come here, buddy. My own little Mad Hatter. He's my writing buddy. He looks down on me suspiciously. You can get the bubble timers on Amazon. They're like 10, 15 bucks, something like that. We did name him. Oh my gosh, why am I so bad with names? Hattie? Did we name him Hattie? Hey, Goodell. Embarrassment, huh? Embarrassment is when you let shame dictate how you should live your life. Are you allowed to make mistakes, Goodell? A slip of the tongue, a faux pas in public? Have you really set your expectations that you're never allowed to do these things? It's normal. There are things that you thought that you would die of embarrassment from 10 years ago that you can barely remember now. Alright, Phoenix. Not every friend is a winter friend. A winter friend will be there for you and with you till the end. Many friends are summer friends. They're good weather friends. They are not there for the thick and the thin. They're there on a whim. And that's okay. Not every friend needs to be there to tell your life story. They come and they go. Enjoy them while they're there. Treat them with respect and kindness. I will try and go live tomorrow. And anxiety, huh? Anxiety is inevitably a question that you don't want to answer. It's not that you don't have the answer. If you're anxious about what you know is going to be a dramatic event, something that's going to be unpleasant, and you know you can't get away from this problem, you're not accepting that you're going to have to face it. You will have to face unpleasant times. And thank you, baby. I got a flip coming up for you right here. Just like summer friends are only there when it's good, you will have to go through winters. You will have anxiety. You'll have fear. If you want it to back off, you need to listen to it and you need to answer it. Stop trying to shove it into a closet. If your friend was having a panic attack, would you try and stick them in a trunk until they shut up? You know what? Don't answer that, chat. Nonetheless, your emotions deserve to be heard. And if you don't listen to them, they're gonna scream all the louder. And thank you, No Thirsty. What happened, Victorian? Motivation? I'm about to give you a bad time. Motivation is a lightning burst or a rainbow in life. It comes and it goes, but you can't rely on it. There are things I'm not motivated to do that I struggle through anyway. I wasn't motivated to come on live tonight. I wanted to lay down. Motivation is a bonus. It's like getting a tip. You can't rely on it to pay your bills or to see you through life. And you have the right to have those emotions, Victoria. That is an awful thing to have happened. But you're still out there. You're still fighting back. You're still living, making yourself heard. I'm not saying that it's fair or there was some grand reason or design behind what happened to any of you. What I'm saying is that you are more than the things that happen to you. Hey, Lexi, baby. Advice on trust? It's hard. You've just gotta be afraid and do it anyway. Like jumping off a bridge. Betrayal can only grow in trusting soil. It's a twisted seed. And you just have to accept that. I love my wife more than I think I've ever loved any human on this planet. That still doesn't mean that I don't have negative thoughts or fears. It doesn't mean that the demons of my past don't yell insecurities out. I choose to trust even though it's hard. And depression, huh? So, for depression, the first thing is, why do you think you're not allowed to be sad? Some people walk around happy every day, and we think that that's normal and something that we should aspire to. Why is that? Whether or not you are happy or sad as a default emotion is not negative or even positive outside of some random society. It's the shame. Shame is the thing that brings you down. There is plenty of beauty and wonder in sad and quiet places. Many people would say that the music we're listening to right now is sad. It's still beautiful. The pacing is lovely. Yes, depression is overwhelming. Yes, depression will make you into a blanket burrito with ice cream and 1,000-yard gaze sometimes. But shame will make you hate yourself. Shame will feed your depression. Shame will tear you down for something you don't need to. You don't need to be ashamed of who you are. Hey, lovely lady. I'm glad to see you again. And there's your shake. And we do that, Divine. The logical part of our brain thinks that it can control everything. It's a fear response. The logical part of our brain doesn't like acknowledging that we can't control everything about ourselves. So it lies. It makes up stories and sets expectations that can't possibly be held. And then it makes excuses when those lies don't work out. And then eventually, it refuses to accept responsibility for what it's done. And it starts making us feel ashamed for what we couldn't have ever done anyway. And yes, ice cream definitely makes everything feel better. Hey there, Steve Mania. I've got ADHD too. Take a scroll through some of the other videos I've posted. I spent a long time thinking of myself as a failure and useless. I could never commit to one task long enough to get really, really good at it. And then I realized something. I was collecting hobbies as a hobby. There's nothing wrong with that. I limit myself to 4 a year now. I don't try to master them. The first quarter of this year, I pickled a bunch of stuff. And now I'm too scared to eat any of it because I'm not really good at cooking. So I've probably got 50 pounds of weird pickled stuff in a cabinet that I won't throw away because it's still food, but I won't eat because I'm pretty sure I'll die. I've done mushroom farming, welding, bits of metalworking. Every 4 months, I sell off some of my old hobby stuff and I get a new hobby. And finally, for this entire year, I've been writing. So Steve, let me assure you, I have fought with my ADHD almost my entire life, and now I'm a published author. It took time, it took practice. I had to sit down and find what was something that could hold my attention for more than 4 months, not just 5 minutes. When you have ADHD, you'll fixate. Thanks, Jason. Here's a flip for you. Hello to Norway. I'm sorry to hear that, Turnox. I know that's got to be overwhelming and terrifying at times. But it looks like you're getting there. The book is called Luck of the Gutter Rose. There's a link for it in my bio. Great stories, or good stories, start off with a great question. And my question was, are we more than what was done to us? It's the same kind of thing as Supernatural or True Blood or American Gods. I'm just getting started, and of course I'm nervous. I published it myself on Amazon. Made my own cover art, did all of my own editing, and thanks again, Jason. This is the book here. I can't tell you how amazing it is to hold my own book in my hand. And yes, the cover of the book is a picture of the book. I refuse to explain that. It amused me. Actually, as a writer, I'm going to do all kinds of cool things. I'm going to host contests. Every time I release a book, I will release a contest where my fans can make votes for one of three options. They can either create a new character that I will add to my world, they can corrupt an existing character, make the bad guy good or the good guy bad, or they can get rid of a character. I will give somebody the ability to choose one of those three options, and it will happen in the next book. Hey HW13, I'm stuck in that rut too. I've decided to start making long-term choices on top of it. I spend a good 6 hours of my day balancing being a father figure and writing. It is hard, and that's on top of working. If you want to get out of the day-to-day grind and you want to stop living paycheck to paycheck, you need to start thinking in terms of months and years. It's called a bubble timer. And you're very welcome, Jason Vori. Is that a thriller reference or a horror movie reference?
That's Jason.
Jason. We got that shirt around here somewhere. My center. Oh, two things. I have made peace with the fact that my center is a chaotic, fluffy ball of husky energy. Your center doesn't have to be a Buddhist monk sitting in the lotus pose, humming. Your center is your center. It doesn't have to be like anybody else's. And as for ASMR, it's because on this stream, I'm not peeling tape off of a microphone while I seductively whisper and tap. ASMR is about a combination of sounds and tones with movements and actions. And yes, I do sometimes get salty when I see other people doing weird stuff to their microphone with 20,000 viewers. I'm not perfect. I get annoyed and jealous. Don't worry about it, Jason. Thank you, though. I pull up those coins and I use them to buy more of these bubble timers. So all of the gifts that you give to me come back to you and to the chat and to the group. And I have been busy. That would be the love of my life. She was blowing at me a kiss from the bottom of her heart.
What?
They heard you burp.
Oh.
You stop jealousy when you acknowledge that you don't have rights to other people. If you want to stop feeling jealous, you need to stop thinking of the time they give you as your property. You're not entitled to it. It's a gift. Every minute, every second. Every last bit of time that somebody chooses to share with you was theirs, not yours. They gave it to you because they cared about you. You're not entitled to it forever. And you have to understand that sometimes people are going to make choices you're not going to like. They're going to hurt you. Hey 314 Nero. If you want to be happier, and this goes out to all of you, so please listen, you need to stop chasing El Dorado. Did you know they actually found El Dorado? The Spanish Inquisitors, whatever the pronunciation is, they found the city of gold. They took it and did other awful things. And do you know what they did after they finished stealing all of the gold from the city of gold? They said that wasn't enough gold to be El Dorado. It must have been a fake. And so they kept searching, ruining their lives and the lives of everyone else they came into contact with, looking for this legendary city of gold that would never be enough. There wasn't enough gold in the world to satisfy them. We do the same thing with happiness. You need to define a list of what happiness looks like for you, or you'll never find it. It's not elusive. Ask yourself honestly, are you happy right now? And thank you, Willie and Sunny Slide. Here's a flip for both of you. You're relaxed. Somebody's talking to you, giving you advice and wisdom that you never knew you needed. If you don't define what happiness looks like, you'll never know it when you see it. Because otherwise it just becomes this greed thing. You're just stuck searching. Hey, that boy. And hello, Naive. That boy, be yourself. And if a girl doesn't like you for who you are, the relationship was never going to work out anyway. And I just finished the last lines on the first draft of book 2. Gutter rose on a silver platter. I should have it available in 2 weeks. Editing and rewriting's a pain. I haven't gotten it on Audible yet. It's called Luck of the Gutter Rose, and there's a link for it in my profile. I haven't mastered having no expectations. Sometimes you have to call yourself out after the fact. I expected to be an overnight success even when I didn't realize it. It didn't happen. And when I started to get upset and down on myself, I laughed. Because I realized I had set up a ridiculous expectation. I didn't pull the lottery on being a writer. Oh well, I guess I'm just gonna have to do the hard work and release so many books that I Stockholm the world into loving me. I would very much so appreciate it if you buy my book, but if you're not into urban fantasies that explore a lot of dark things, even just sharing my pinned post with friends of yours who like reading would be super helpful. To be fair, there is torture, BDSM, lots of wildly inappropriate humor and jokes. Sing your heart out, kid. Even if you flop, it'll be a great story. Sometimes our best stories are the times we failed. And thanks, Willie. Here's a flip for you. And that boy, 6212. Be yourself. Would you want to be with somebody if you had to pretend to be the person they wanted for the rest of your life with them? So often we have gotten stuck in this very odd culture where we pretend to be somebody else to get into a relationship, and then the relationship can only last for as long as we can keep up the act. You want to know why some of our grandparents and great-grandparents were able to stay together for 60 to 80 years? Because they didn't bother to pretend to be somebody else. They were themselves, and they accepted that not everyone was going to love them or even like them. They're on Amazon. Look up the words bubble timer. And I have a son just like that who does love them as well. It's Big Goof. It's very true, and I am a big fan of Kung Fu Panda. And thank you, Bradley. Here's a flip for you. Thank you, poor homie Tony. I hope you enjoy it. I'm super nervous. And hey, user 1928. I recognize that zip code. Whew. I'm nervous too. Let me turn this off. I can't look at my own written words and know that it's a book because I made it. Everything looks wrong. And thank you, Divine Eye. Same to you. Hey there at Flail 9K. Hey Super Monkey, in case I missed the rest of that. Good luck on your date. And thank you, Bradley. I'll keep that crown with pride. You should. But be respectful. When you go to approach someone and you want to make a big love confession, you get so emotionally wound up that you don't give that person a chance to be their best person. Be yourself, but give the person that you love a chance to be themselves. Don't throw it at them like it's a surprise party. Give them a chance. Be like, hey, can I talk to you about something serious? Or there's something I've wanted to tell you for a while, but I don't want to back you into a corner with it. Give them a chance to be respectful and honest in return. Hey, Redneck Country Boy, it's good to see you. And I wasn't on for a while. I didn't have the energy. Sometimes that happens for me. I curl up into a people burrito. I eat ice creams and I zone out. Yes, Sunny Slide, and let people process before responding. Tell them, take a minute, think it over. Let them know that you're just trying to be honest with them and with yourself. And thanks, Joan Jenna. Here's a flip for you. And thank you, Christmas Frogs. Here's a boop, boop, and a boop on the 3 lucky frogs for you. I hope you like it. I hope that's in a good way, poor homie Tony. I am feeling exhausted. I work. My kids run me through the ringer. I make sure every single day to go out of my way to remind my wife exactly why I proposed to her 9 times and exactly why she said yes 9 times as well. I try and stay live for a little bit longer, about 30 minutes, but I also post replays of my lives on my YouTube channel so you can always go back and watch them later, at least when TikTok doesn't mess up the recording. Like the last 20 lives, it wouldn't, the recording wasn't usable. There was an error, so I wasn't able to post them. What's going on, Moonlight? Hey, Ghost Totes. It's good to see you again. And is that something that they feel, or is that something that you feel? Sometimes we expect ourselves to be the superhero of everyone's story around us. We want to protect them, cherish them, keep them safe. But not every person is made to be every other person's hero. Thanks again, Willie Wilson. Here's another flip for you. And hello, Chocolate Drops. Save yourself first. Keep yourself in a good place so that when you help somebody else, you have firm ground. You have a good foundation to lift them up. You can't carry somebody else on broken legs. And thank you, Sarah. Here's a flip for you. And no, you don't need to be with somebody else to be happy. That's another weird society thing. Ah, redneck country boy. There are so many challenges thrown at us in life because so many people have given up their decency. They've decided that to be decent is to be weak, and that weakness is something that invites attack. And they make the world pay for their pain. An Austie hunt. Cry. Get angry. Have passion and courage. You lost somebody that you loved. You lost a life that you had planned to live. You have the right to grieve. You have the right to be bitter or sad or conflicted even. Sometimes, when we get hit really hard and we have to keep moving, I find it helps to set a timer. I know it sounds silly, but set a timer for 10 minutes. Go someplace safe and bawl or rage or scream your heart out. Don't resist a single emotion for 10 minutes. Let yourself experience everything that you've been bottling up. And then when the 10 minutes done, brush off your shirt, wipe your eyes, and get back in the game. Until you have enough time to spend as much time as you need. The song is called Stress Relief Music, 10 Hours. I have to use copyright-free music so I don't get in trouble when I repost these. You too, Bradley. And hey, Juice, we all go through that. We're taught to bottle everything up. But nobody ever tells us what to do with the bottles, do they? Put it away, pack it up, stiff upper chin, bootstraps to the max. You ever realize how miserable those people are who said that? You can be sad or angry or happy or any other emotions and still get everything you need done. Somebody thought that it was fashionable to begin performing unnecessary surgery on our emotional states. Hey, pregnant pancake. That sounds like a kind of question I get a lot. Are you asking me for permission to do something you have already decided? Or are you asking me for advice on how to handle a difficult situation? If you're asking for permission, you have it. You already made up your mind. Try and carry yourself out in a way that you won't look back on and be ashamed. And if you're asking for advice, I'm deeply concerned that you're trying to save something that's already broken. I'm glad to hear that, Jack. Take your time and breathe. Stretch out your legs. Give yourself some patience. Relax all those little muscles around your face and the back of your neck. Just exist without expectation for a little bit. Hey, Playboy Pisces. Tell them. You don't get to fix it. It happened. You weren't the person you wanted to be. Understand why you were acting like that. Maybe you needed a break so that you could recover. And then understand what your friend would like from you going here on out. You're very welcome, Divine Eye. Yeah, I don't do politics. I don't do Sasquatch playing a saxophone. I am not the guy who is playing a UFO, although I do like both of their music. I hope to see them jam together one day. I know there's a lot of amazing creators doing amazing things on this app, but here, it's a place to catch your breath, to just exist. It is. Try to have a breakdown before you go to work. Set 10 minutes aside. You're going through something. Try, just like you have to go to the bathroom before a long car trip. If you know you're going to have to keep your game face on for a long time, release some of the pressure out of your emotional bottle before you go. It is Rashka Moonlight, and it would be. You can't practice a fire drill when the house is on fire. You have to practice it when you're calm. When your head is level and you can think clearly is when you should prepare for your anxiety attacks. Not when you have tunnel vision and you can't focus. All right, Rashka Moonlight. So you've let go of a lot and it feels like there's always more. But why are you letting yourself feel ashamed of your natural self? Excuse me. Are you ashamed that you have to breathe? You need air. You're a human. We're not all the same. Every last one of us is a spectrum of light and color and actions. I hate that too, Raksha Moonlight. For a long time, nothing angered me more than when somebody found out just how bad my life had been and they looked at me with pity. I hated it. I wouldn't want anything to do with anybody like that. I didn't want to be pitied. I didn't want to be somebody's, oh, I fixed them story. And thank you, Austin Hunt. It pissed me off. Yes, it sucked. There was no motivational speech to go with it. It was hurtful, and I hated it. I wanted to fix myself. I wanted to be more than the shattered remains that were left when I escaped that life. If for no other reason than that was not how I was going to spend the rest of my life. Hey Zed, there's no helping him there. Sometimes when people get into a toxic relationship, they start building a whole wall of lies between them and that partner. They'll get better. Things will change. When this problem is solved, it won't be so bad. Just give them time to heal and they won't hit me anymore. Let them know that they're safe and they're loved and they won't lie to me anymore or ruin my things or break our home. And the worst part is, they have to admit that they were wrong. And the longer the relationship goes, the longer they were wrong. If you want to get somebody out of a toxic relationship, don't get them out of a toxic relationship. You're not the emotional Superman. Give them a place where they can feel safe. Be their friend. Let them have some place to contrast what is home and what is not home. Don't try to break them up necessarily. Try to show them that life without that partner is better, even if it's only virtual. Because yes, one of the first things an abuser needs to do to gain control is to isolate their victim. They do that because if the person gets a contrast with how other people treat them versus how their partner is treating them, it begins to spell the end of the relationship for the abuser. It is not easy, it is messy, and it is painful, and some people will cut you out of their life rather than their abuser. I spent a long time attracting narcissists. I even married one once. It was not fun. I was kind and caring, and I thought of myself as a white knight who could take any pain to help everyone else around me. And one day I realized that was just my ego. I wasn't humble, I was arrogant. I wasn't being noble, I was being despicable. I was letting other people treat me in a way that I would never let somebody else treat one of my friends or a child or someone I cared about. And I did it because I thought if I could do it, then it meant I wasn't broken or worthless. I was trying to prove something. And no, I'm not in Nevada, but I have spent a lot of time in Nevada. Then scream, Alexis. Just scream. Scream into the void. Go back and talk to your inner child and tell them what they needed to hear. Hello, evil forever. What do you all say? One last flip for the night? Me too, Moonlight. I still flinch when my wife, who has never hurt me, moves too fast. It's part of who I am. I am hypervigilant because I am used to having to dodge blows that came without warning. And yes, pregnant pancake. Addiction is a behavior. A behavior serves a purpose. The purpose of an addiction is to fill a hole inside of ourselves. A need for control, a point of trauma or loss. You cannot get rid of the behavior because the hole is a vacuum that will create a new behavior. You must either fill in the hole, and if for whatever reason you cannot fill in that hole, you must find another behavior that doesn't make you ashamed or tear apart your life to fill that hole. Next time you look at a bodybuilder, the ones that are built like Greek gods, I want you to understand that they're addicted to bodybuilding. It's a behavior to fill a hole. Some of them are afraid of being weak, and some of them are trying to work out a part of their life where they were powerless. It's still an addiction. You can find an addiction that builds your life up rather than tearing it apart. I hope all of you have a good night, and I am very proud of you. You've always been worth it, and you never deserved those things that happened. But you chose something else. You chose to stop it. You chose that you were not going to pass your pain and your suffering down the line. And you should be proud of yourselves for that. Have a good night, everybody. I'll try and see you tomorrow.